It's Monday, which means it's time for me to build some more map cards. Hello, I'm Tailz from Studio Wildfire, and I'm here to build adventure maps. Woohoo! Okay, so let's get started. Let me just click a few things. Okay, so let's start with a blank canvas. That's all set up and ready to go, but it's black. I don't want it to be black. So let's fill it with this color. That's better. Turn on my grid and turn on my snapped grid. There we go. So then zoom in a little bit. Where's the zoom? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Fit to window. That's what I want. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to build the outer edge. And since I'm doing the underground at the moment, which I'm using the Necrotech map tiles, which are in this folder. Okay, so let's grab some walls and pop that one down. But first, I'm going to create some folders. So we've got our ground. We've got our, floor. Walls. And features. There we go. And just take, because when they get created, they get nested one within the other. So I've got to take them out of that and put them in their own order. So let's put this. So this is in the walls folder, and let's start moving them around. So how's your Monday starting to look? Is it as wet as mine? It's been raining overnight here. It's been piddling down. Made the place very wet. Got a little bit soggy on my morning bike ride. Whoops. Okay, that goes there. Let's double check. Okay, we're on the move. Selected layer mode. Okay, now we want some doorways, which I'll chuck in now. Down here. And, whoops, where's it going? Oh, it snapped off the edge of the map. Oh, that's good. Where's my... Hang on, is something clicking when it shouldn't be clicking? Okay. It doesn't seem to... It seems to be hanging on to stuff. What are you doing? Let go. There we go. Maybe I'm just holding my pen wrong. And over here. Yeah, look at that. Let go. Okay, hang on. I'm going to... Maybe this pen's being a bit dodgy. Let me just change pens. See what happens if I use this pen. Because I have multiple pens on my tablet. I have one pen that has a lot of buttons, which I was just using, and I have one pen that has no buttons. It's just a pen, and it seems to be working a lot better than my old pen that has lots of buttons. So hopefully, I hope that doesn't mean that the old pen is dying, which will be sad. Because I have to get a new pen. Because I like that pen. Okay, so put these here. So then the question becomes, what am I going to do with this map? Oop, there we go. So I'll go and put the walls around. Here we go. Start over this side. So what are we going to do in this map card to make it interesting? Now I've had a bit of an idea. That I might put something like how we get down to this level. There is a staircase in the above level, but it's uses the Necrotiles themed set of artwork, sort of placed as an overlay, like a sort of steps into it, and I could do something like that. But let's just get this outer wall, because that sort of blocks in the fact that this is a map card which is meant to be attached to other map cards. So that's why there's doorways. So there's that side done, and this side. Yeah, so yeah, new week, new Monday, getting ready for another week of adventure map building, creating a story narrative, as I'm still working on the Trader's Way. It's taking way too long. I need to get it done. I think it's taking too long because I'm also teaching myself how to use GIMP. Not GIMP. Blender. Because I want to be able to create things in Blender, like 3D models, and be able to display them as what's going on here. Oh, don't want to do that. Okay, so our outer wall is in. So maybe we could do like this, like a cave. This is like something around a cave. And yeah, I kind of like that idea. So let's go to our floors, go to our staircases. We could do. We could put. So I need to put these into our floor folder. Dunk. And that goes like that. Actually, why is that? That's better. Okay, so let's go back to this. There we are. So then we need to put. So I'm thinking like we'll have like an edge. So this will be an edge over the top of our ground. Okay, and then we have to fill in. So we have to fill in like that. So this will be an edge down through here. this working the way I think it's going to work? Or have I done something wrong? I think I've done something wrong. I think this is what I needed to use. Hang on. Let me just go back. Let's hide these, because I can easily come and re-enable. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So this is coming up the way I'm thinking. Now the good thing about those tiles that I've just hidden is because they don't include the shadow, I can actually overlay them over the top of these ones. So I get the shadow from these, and I get a different texture, because these ones only have two tiles with shadows, because I didn't really, when I designed this set, I didn't contemplate having like a whole edge of these tiles. So I can grab these, put them up above, turn them on, and it gives a bit of a different texture to each one of those. Yep. That's what I'm thinking of. So this will be like a little raised platform, like a single step over some dirt. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, so let's do. So they're corner pieces. Where are we? Up here we are. See how it gets a bit same because we've only got this one's the exact same, this one's the exact same as this and this. It's sort of that way I can put those tiles over the top, and it gives a little bit of difference. One thing I'm thinking of doing this afternoon. Here we go. So it comes around to here. So I just need these. So a little bit of difference. There we go. So I only need to put 4 on, because they're just covering up the grid square, just like that. Actually, I'll get these ones to move across one. Like that. Put that in there. There we go. So that's our platform coming in. So now we need to cross the bottom. But yeah, I'm thinking of maybe this afternoon I'll make a little video of map building in Fantasy Grounds. I haven't done that in a while. Because usually I do my map building in programs like GIMP and Photoshop. That's what I'm doing here. Although I have started doing my map builds in Blender. Because my whole idea is that I'm going to create maps in the future in 3D. Because then I have full control over what I create. There we go, just like that. Now up this side, so I can create the dungeon, and then I can render it from different perspectives and show characters and monsters inside the dungeon, which I think will be really, really cool for story narrative building. Since I try to do more story narrative heavy modules than just, you know, a straight dungeon crawl. So the DM, so the game master has, you know, has a big long description that they can, you know, pre-written for them that they can use. Okay, so coming around to, so this is going to be the interesting bit where we put in some dirt underneath this step, and I'm going to use, I'm thinking I'll use the crystal mine map tiles that I made a while ago. So let's go to our dirt floor. So this is dirt floor interlinking to the old cave. Yep. And then this is rubble. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, let's, so we're going to have dirt like this. So this is just the general dirt pieces. And I want to try and have sections where the wall is uneven, so it sort of comes around and jaggedly. It's going to be a bit of a trial and error and experiment, because I've got these rubble edge tiles. See how they've got like a little gradient on the edge? So for example, if I grab this one out, see it has a little white shaded, let me just zoom in. Here we go. So yeah, so you can see it here, this little shaded edge. That's so that you know that that's the edge that goes, that you have a wall, like the rubble wall, go over the top of that. So you put that there. Then you grab another one, and you put it here. Now we need a corner. And, yep, they're up in here. Yep, so here's a corner. Like that. So I'll probably build most of this zoomed in. So we're going to have a piece come around here. So how could we do that? So we could use a curve bit. Where is it? Like this one. The trick becomes, oh, it's a bit big. That's the 10 foot diameter. What do we use? I've got 5 foot ones, but they're these little ones at the top. Yep. That's what I was thinking of. Just like that. Let's get back to here. So then we just use this one, because that's a double, which should go right there. Then we want to have a cornerstone coming back around. So there's method to my madness. Whoops. Oops, hang on. Are we... Oh, we're a bit away from this edge. So let's have it there. We need to grab another straight. This one. So I'll put it on top. That's in the ground, so we go to our walls. Because our cave, let's make a folder and call it cave walls. put it in there. So we go back up and we find our rock walls. Here we go. There's our rock walls. Okay, so we want to have this one go here. Just like that. Then we want straight. So coming along here. So yeah, I was thinking maybe this afternoon when I'm done doing my video editing, I'll make a little video in Fantasy Grounds. Because one of the things I was thinking of doing is making a tutorial video about building adventure maps in Fantasy Grounds. Because you can do that. It is... Their map building tools inside Fantasy Grounds itself are pretty good. So yeah, it comes around. Might as well just use that again. Yep, just like that. And then we need a cornerstone here. Just like that. So this is basically what I'm thinking of. So it'll be like a little contained area, and because this is the it's cave map tiles with crystals, we can do some pretty cool things. So let's stick with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have there's this merged crystal wall plus rock wall, and I'm going to use. Where is it? I think this one. I think that. So if we make like an entrance here. Actually, I think that's the one that should go up there. So we put crystal through here. Actually, we want to come back. So this is crystal wall, rock plus crystal wall. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So we want cornerstones. So we put this one. Right there. And this one. Right here. Yeah, that's looking good. Because that way it's an entrance to... Because this could be where they're mining out crystals. That's my plan. That's my thought. Now I'm going to use... I might actually not do it just yet. Not have it go full crystal wall yet. There we go. Now I'll start to merge, because we've got this one, merge crystal walls. This is where we go from crystal wall and rock to full just crystal walls. Just like that. And we'll do it with this one. There we go. Oh, that's the other way around. Don't want that one. We want, I think it's this one. Oh, that's a bit long, but that's pretty cool. We'll use that. So this is full crystal wall at this end. Okay, so So we come back up the top, we go to the crystal walls section. Here we are. So I'm going to put in that cornerstone right there. And we'll have like a little dead end bit here. Where are we? Yep, here we go. Here's a dead end. We want that one. So it sort of comes to a dead end down here. Now it is going to mean we're going to need an inner curve right there, which I believe is at the top here. That one. And then edge there. Like that. So they sort of come in here, and there's like a little tunnel. I'll need a cornerstone there. Which will be this one. Just like that. Okay, now we need to turn around here. So I'll need a corner. I'll need another corner. There we go. And then we'll need to come down through here. So I might pop another dead end in there to sort of do that bit. And slide down, grab one of these pieces. Yeah, that's looking good. Now, might have a curve come off here. So we'll go back up here. I might do a big curve, like that. Yep. And then we might do, like, have this come around. Yeah, question mark. So something like, so that'll be on the inside, coming around into that little dead end area. Then we need one of these, this one, on the outside, like that. Yeah, that's looking good. So let's go back and put the ground in. So we need dirt. Actually, hang on. We could put railway through. This will look cool. So there's like little carts. I've been mining in 3D. I'll have to build a cart in 3D, but you know, that's what I'm teaching myself. Okay, so we want curved wall. We want that to go there. You can see how we've got the really rocky rubble at the base of the wall. That's why we have these special pieces. Now it does get a bit tricky with the passageway sections. So let's grab this one. Put there like that. And this one. to sort of have a... I think I built special pieces for this. Yeah, there they are, the overlays. So what I can do is I can just use this piece to build that edge. Then I need a little overlay to go here. So I'll grab that now. Yep, there it is. So we need one of these. Goes right there like that, overlaying that. That is exactly what we want. So I then want another piece here. This one will do the job nicely. So it goes there. Then again, another little corner right there. Yep. And we've got a bit of dirt there, keeping that texture going. And then we'll need to do the same thing here. So we grab this piece. It goes right there. And this one. Right there like that. That's good. Okay, so we then go back to... So I'm probably going to need to do the same thing here. So So we need one of our curved wall. So we need this bit. And it goes right there. So we'll need to overlay just this section here. So let's have a look at our overlays. So we're looking for... So that's the section we will need there. So I'll have to come back and put something under there, but we need a bit there. Where is that? That is one of these. Here we go. And it goes there. Boom, boom. Meshes up nicely. But I will quickly go and put a piece under this one. So that's that one there. Just a standard piece of dirt. This piece. Just like that. That's meshing through quite nicely. Okay, so I'll do this here. So we'll need this one, which will go there, and this one, which shall go there. Then we need a doorway rubble piece, which is in here. Yep. It is here, there, just like that. Done. So we've got, so we'll sort of, let's just zoom out, go full page. There we go. Yeah, so that's looking the way that we want it to look. We sort of got like a little, cavey section that people will sort of explore through here, and then they can come in here and explore through the crystal cave section. That looks like a interesting little piece in the overall structure. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, I think I'll do a Fantasy Grounds stream this afternoon, or I'll make a video this afternoon. Let's go to View, Zoom, 1:1, and let's just scroll down, and over here, we'll do over here, do this area. I might make an extra entrance here. Maybe? Question mark? But I do need a cornerstone, or a dirt corner, right there, because this is going to turn back. Or, Here's a really cool idea. I'm not going to put that there. I'm going to put a straight section and let the wall, yep, do that. That there. So we'll have the wall actually come up and go over these steps. I think that's a cool idea. So we'll go back to our cave walls in here. So this is going to be regular cave wall. Drop back down, grab our rock walls. And this is why layers are really, really important. And folders, having things in the correct folders is really important. So you can come along, have this here, and then grab that, and have these rock walls overlaying these floor pieces. I reckon that's a good idea. Grab a cornerstone. See how it looks like this, you know, there's dirt here, but this rock wall sort of comes through. Yep. Okay, so makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more different. So we can actually have this like completely cover this end, which I like the idea of that. Actually, what I'll do is something. I'll put a dead end right in front of the doorway, like that. Hang on, where's our cornerstones? So we want that one. This one to go here. So it's like, you know, you'd step out of this doorway and go, oh, there's a little bit of, there's an odd thing. There's rubble and rock. So then we need to, I'll quickly jump back to the dirt, put a rubble dead end in there, because I think I've got dead ends in here. Oh no, are they up? No, they're up here. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I want. So I'll quickly go to the right folder. So one in the ground. And this one. Yeah, that looks cool. So, you know, you'd step out and go, ooh, look, there's a little alcove with dirt and rock. And remember, you know, you won't really see past these walls when people are adventuring, because the dynamic lighting in programs like, you know, Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, and Foundry, you won't see past there. You'll get to a wall edge. So let's go back to our rock walls. Here we go. And let's continue this round. And of course, drop out of our ground folder, back to our walls, cave walls, and put it in there. So we're coming to these ones. Oop, did I just use that again? I think I have. Like that. So we might actually start to turn it back, come off the that's quite large. Let's see how far. No, it's too close. Let's use that's the 10 foot curve. Let's use the 5. Yeah, that's better, because that gives us plenty of room to sort of turn back around before we need to worry about that wall coming through. So we're coming down here. So we might put another entrance down here, maybe here. Maybe, just do this. too wide. Make it come around here. Do this. Make it like an actual circle. Yeah. Yep. I like the look of that. So it's still overlaying this, and we will have just put a straight piece, and then we'll drop it like that. So we want to have one of these corners like that. And then down here. There, like that. Yeah, so on the weekend I pretty much finalized one of the maps for the Trader's Way, which is sort of the big roadway map. I finalized that. Got all the 3D bits for it built. I'll put the dirt in while I'm thinking of it. So you've got all the 3D bits for it made, which mean I can also use those pieces to make the next map. So hopefully the next map will go a little bit more quickly, and future maps will hopefully go more quickly again. Now that I'm getting more of a hang of how Blender works. Yep. And that piece. And that's that done. Do I need any dirt over here? I do. So I need the curve section, which will be this piece coming through here, and the other one here. That one. But yeah, the Trader's Way Road looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. I'll hopefully show it off to Patreons in a little bit. Get their feedback, see what they think. Now so we're going to have a sort of a rounded section here. So I'll put these in here like that, and then we need a square corner, which is that one, coming down here. Now the question comes, how do we do here? So let's just put some cornerstones in. So we're going to have that one there. So this will be like a big area. Big sort of semi-open area. Which means I need this piece here. Just like that. I actually need a corner here and a corner here. I think I've got this one. Just like that. Perfecto. Now we might corner this. So we will need this piece there, and then an overlay here. Where is it? This pieces. There we go. Yep. They're like that. That's sort of coming around. So let's just sort of work out what I'm going to do here. I think I'll do a curved. Yeah, I'll just make a curve in there. Oh, this is the overlays. Not what I was thinking. Yep. So there'll just be a simple circular, crystal-lined circular room right here. Just like that. And then we need a straight edge and an overlay just here. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. Yep, so we'll put a crystal wall around here. So it'll look a little bit weird at the moment because I haven't put the edges, the wall edges in. And I must remember to put the cornerstone there. Which I may as well do that now. Back to our cave walls. Okay. Back up to our... Now this is where I'm doing crystal walls. So I'll do crystal walls first. Which means... So let's just do this little circular chamber. Like so. And then down this edge. But what I might do is I might actually transition back to standard stone wall. So this is where... Come back to the top. Now, where did I have? I think it was rock wall plus crystal. So, yeah, merge. That doesn't look like it's going the right way. Yep, that's what I wanted. It's a 2 section, so I actually did 2x1 section. So it's a long transition from full crystal to crystal and rock. And then in here I'll sort of... play around with it. Okay, so back to crystal wall because I need to put some cornerstones in. So I need this one, just there like that, and this one goes just there like that. Okie dokie. So that's coming around fine. So we now need to work on this. In this little section here. Because I want to eventually get back to just having stone here. So the question becomes, should I... I'm thinking, instead of using this one, which is actually a long... Look, it looks cool, but I want to get back to stone at the end of this. So what I might do is I might delete this one, delete that, go back to where is it? Crystal plus rock walls. So I want the merge to crystal walls, but I want it to happen over one tile, which is, I think, this one. Yes. So it goes from full crystal to crystal and rock, and then in this section I'll go from crystal and rock to rock. So let's grab that while I'm thinking of it. So just straight rock walls, merge. Okay, so it's this one. Just like that. So it goes crystal and rock, just rock. And then from here I can do just rock. So let's just block that out while I'm thinking of the walls. Rock walls, here we go. So okay, let's just do that cornerstone before I forget. So there's a cornerstone right there. And I'll need a cornerstone here. Just like that. And I'll need another one here. That one. There. And then the other side. Like that. and then come around. So let's jump up, grab that, just there like that, and then 2 curved ones. There we go. Pardon me. There we go. Like an interesting little alcove, and I'll go on. I'll put the white in while I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to want to have that actually above here. Whoops. So let's go and delete some pieces. So let's hide that for the moment. So we want to come along and go like this. So I'm just selecting out the area I want to mask. There we go. Turn that back on. So inverse my selection, and then go edit, clear. And there we go, our white bits. And remember, like, if you really want, you can come along and fill this in later on with like a stone texture. I often do that on maps, but because in your virtual tabletop programs, you know, you're going to have a dynamic lighting wall around here, so you really don't need to worry about what's in there, because people aren't going to get to see it anyway. Okay, so that comes around there. Okay, so what are we going to do around here becomes the question. So let's grab, so we'll go back to our walls, because we're going to need to do another transition, which I might actually do here, because it might be interesting to just have this section as just rock and crystal rather than just crystal. So let us grab our rock and crystal walls and the transition tiles. I think this is the one I want to use. Yeah, so crystal here, rock and crystal here. Oops, I'm still in my selection tool. So select, none, and back to my move tool. So they're like that, so I'll need to have a full crystal cornerstone, because this is still full crystal. Here we go. Just like that. There we go. Yeah, so that's looking good. So, whoops, accidentally moved it. So we then jump back to our crystal and rock. Yep, this is what we want. And we put a corner in this corner. So we'll have it come around here and just leave this open. Yeah, possibly. Maybe just put a bit of wall in here. I have it come around and come out here. We could do that. In fact, let's do that. So we need to have another bit of corner wall there, and then just have it run out here. So where is... Here we go. And then just have this, you know, turn here, or maybe just here, so that's a little bit of a 10 by 10 area with a little dead end. looks nice and interesting. Coming out, have it turn here, and then come back around. So what I might do to be interesting, do this like that. How are our curved sections? There we go. Because you've got to have, you know, in a nice organic shape, you've got to have a lot of curves. Now, this is where we need to go from our partial rock wall and crystal wall to our full rock wall. So, this is where we drop back to our rock walls. These are the merger ones, and this is the one I want. So we're full rock wall at this end. There we go. So we'll need to drop back to my white layer and pencil in this area. Oh, there's missing a cornerstone right there. So let's quickly grab that. Cornerstones. That one. That's where we need it. Okay, so let's drop back to the white area, switch over to our pencil, and make certain it's going to draw in white. There we go. And yeah. Ooh, we'll have to fix this because it's should be there. That's what we want. And same over here. There. That's good. Because we don't need to, you don't need to put corridors and rooms in every single piece of the map. You know, adventurers might see this area, see that there's a big blank bit, and then they'll spend hours trying to find a secret door when there is none. You got to trick your players like that. It's part of the adventure. You know, the game master's got to have the little bits of fun, toying with the minds of their players. Okay, so there, so that caps, and then we just have a bit of curved wall, and that I think is our walls finished. Yeah, so now we just got to come back and do the dirt floor. So we'll have to do overlays around here. So where are our overlays? Yes, here it is. That's where our rubble overlays are. So we need this piece to go right there, because I'm going to put I need to put cornerstones there. Then we need these pieces there like that, and then some straight pieces, which are down the bottom here. And I think that's a 2x1. Yep, it is, which will work perfectly right there. Okay, now I'd better go and put those cornerstones in before I forget. Where are we? So rock walls, cornerstones, there, just there. That goes there. And this piece goes on the top of it, like that. Okay, back to our dirt. Dirt glorious dirt. And, whoops, jump in there. Now, we'll need some curve section. Yep. So fill in here. There we go. And then 2 straight bits, another bit of curve, which I'll grab while I'm thinking of it. And then 2 straight pieces. Oops. I could have used this. There's a 2x1 right here, but nah. I'll just use these pieces. Now the problem there is I need a little bit of rubble overlay, which I'll use this bit right there. Yep. So over here. Ooh, I forgot to do this bit. So that's just, pardon me. Let us just do this. Because this is actually a tunnel piece. See how there's 2 sides? And I'll use this other one, which is again, it's a tunnel piece. 2 little grid out sides. And now I'm going to do something interesting. If I can find where I put the pieces for it. Oh, I need. No. What am I thinking? Okay, I'm just using overlays to do this. I shouldn't be using overlays to do this, but it's all right. The overlays will work. So if I just do this, put little corner there. I should have just used the combined pieces instead of. I'm doing this the long way around because I'll need to go and put dirt underneath all this. I do stupid things. 5 foot. 5 foot curve goes there, and this piece goes there. And then we need a dead end. See, these are the pieces I should have used. Grab a dead end. That one. See, I'm an idiot. Which now means I've got to go all the way down here so that these dirt tiles that I'm going to put in are under all of this. And it will look the way it should look. Because I'm stupid. Yep. And that last piece goes there. So now I'm going to put this little bit of crystal wall in there. Now, if you're enjoying watching me build this adventure map badly, please like and subscribe. It really does help. It also shows that you know people do enjoy watching me do this sort of thing. I'm not here just talking to myself. Okay, so crystal wall. So yes, please like and subscribe. I do actually feel dirtier asking people to do that. I probably shouldn't, but it is, you know, the algorithm is what the algorithm is. cornerstone. Up the top. Okay. That. So I'll zoom out, see if I've forgotten anything else. Fit image in window. That is that. Boom boom. So it's an interesting little divergence. So as people sort of adventuring through the rest of the dungeon, they'll come to this area and they'll be like, oh, there's dirt and there's rock. What's going on here? And they'll adventure in and go, oh, there's something special going on here. And this is going to be the cool bit. I forgot about this. So I'm going to create a new folder. Let's call it Railway. This is where they were mining it. So because I have in this section, this map tiles pack, so this is the Crystal Mine map tiles pack, it has railway sections. How cool is that? So let's put some sections of railway in. So that should come down there. So let's have this come along here and have it stop, which will be this one. So it stops there. This can come along. Want to do? No, it didn't have a T intersection. Nope, nope, nope. And then we'll have this curve, which is that one. Hopefully, oh, it's a 10-foot curve. No, I didn't make any 5-foot curves. Oh. Bugger. Could we use this one? Like that? Yeah, that looks interesting. And have it stop. Yeah, like that. There we go. So a little bit of railway, you know, this is... Let's have a look. Let's zoom in. Yeah. That looks nice. Something nice and interesting. So it looks like, you know, this is where they were mining. They're mining it out, digging it all out. Let's get back to full screen. Fit image to window. Excellent. So we go and save this one. Save as, and I go and where is it? Put in my projects hard drive, Dropbox. My projects. Where's my endless dungeon crawl? There we go. Underground structure. So this will be underground room 5. Doop, 5. There we go. And I'll save out a WebP. WebP, there we go. And I'll upload that this afternoon, so that if you're on my Patreon, you'll actually be able to get these this afternoon, including the raw working files. But if you're not, why aren't you? Join my Patreon. Okay, so let's make another one. So I'm going to delete all these pieces, except for the folders, because I need my folders. Let's get rid of all these pieces. Get rid of the floor. And the walls. Actually, get rid of the... There we go. But I'm actually going to cheat. I'm going to use... Oops, not what I was looking for. I'm going to use the already existing walls, but I am going to take out some of them. Because I'm going to put in rooms instead. So I'm going to replace these pieces with corners. Like that. And let's get back to the top and jump back over to our Necrotech map tiles, which are here. So where are our walls? There are our walls. Okie dokie. So what are we going to do from here? So I'll break this up into quarters again. Pardon me. So I'm thinking I'll put a big circular room in the middle. That's what I'm thinking. We're sinking, SOS. What are you thinking about? That's a funny ad. Okay, so that goes there. This goes here. Oops. So how do we do? Actually need to go up the top here. How do we do this now? So I've got an idea. Sort of like a big circular room. So where's our 10-foot curved walls? Right here. So let's start by putting those in. So I want to do the inner chamber. Will actually have sort of these etched sections, but I want to try and have it a bit out. So it'll be like a sort of oops. It's the one problem with using this mode of the move brush or the move tool is it's far too easy to pick up stuff. Actually, I might change it. Go back to move selected layers. There we go. So I shouldn't just be randomly picking up stuff. So I want to start picking up. So that goes there, and this goes here. Then I've got an idea. How do I do this? Maybe we just go straight wall. I'll try and make this look a little bit different, a little bit odd. And just trying to think how I can do this. So straight walls like this. Then I'm thinking angled walls. Like so. Coming out like that. So these are going to be interesting little sort of alcovey hype. Pardon me. There's my glass of water. Ugh. Just like that. And like that. My throat is fixed. Nom 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 nom. Okay, so we go like that. Then we have a little... You gotta try out the ideas. Like that. So this will look interesting. Yeah, this is starting to look like what I'm thinking about. Like that. And then the question becomes, do I have this open or not? So I'll close off these areas. Well, sorry, I'm not closing them off. I'm just going to cap them. Like so. Because this might be like some sort of maybe alien control center or meeting room or something like that. So we've sort of got these interesting sort of blocks with little antechambers and then a big room in the center, which could be maybe some sort of alien doodad doohickey. So I might do this sort of block here, and I'll mirror this here, maybe something different on these two rooms. So let's just start putting together this side, because I'll have this side mirror this side. Symmetry is always fun. At least that's what I'm sticking with. So we need that cornerstone to go there, and do this one. Oh no, I've already got that one there. Then I need some flat walls. Not these ones, nor those ones. I need these ones. So that piece can go there, and this piece. These ones can go in here. Then I need so that's the diagonal pieces coming through. Yeah, so this could be yeah, maybe some sort of little alien control center. This could be the alien medical room with giant anal probe. Why is it that everybody goes to anal probes with aliens? I say. I think that movie Paul was correct. If you haven't seen the movie Paul, go and see the movie Paul. Get it out, rent it, whatever. It's got to be on like Netflix or something by now. It's hilarious, but it has so many mundane truths in it. you know, he has this section where they're sort of like going, "Oh my God, there's an alien. He's gonna anal probe me," and it's like, what is it? And you know, the alien who is Paul is sort of like going, "What is it with you humans and anal probes?" But anyway, that's just me ranting. Okay, so that's coming down there. So what I'm going to need is I am going to need a layer, which is going to be white, as is Gimps want to make it white. No, that's not what I want. I want to just go click, 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 do, 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 do. And then select, invert, and edit, clear. So that's what I wanted. So, and then I go to my pencil, and I just draw in this bit. There we go. Done. So they're like two pieces. You know, there could be like engines or whatever hidden away in there. And what am I going to do over here? Do I just do the same thing? I'm thinking I might do the same thing. Or I could just have these connect up. So the only way you get through is from these two corners. And these could be rooms for something else. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that idea. Because it sort of forces people to, so you come in here, get to go there, but then you can't get out that way. You got to go over here or back out where you came. It forces exploration of the map. But my OCD for symmetry is starting to say, don't do that. Don't make it symmetrical. So let's do... Oh, no, I'm in my floor. I don't want them in the floor. And I don't want that in my floor. I want it between the floor and walls. There we go. So I'm thinking I might do something like this. Yep. Which will force a bit more exploration. And wiggly lines are always fun. So let's do this over the other side as well. Oops. So we want to have this piece around over here. Just like that. Then we need like that. And the same on the other side. And then the, oops. Like that. So I then need the 10-foot outer curve here. So it'll be a bit of a simple room, but it forces some exploration. like that. So that's, it's not, it's symmetrical this way, not this way. Well, symmetrical every way on the diagonals, but it's all about exploring the map. Doesn't have to be perfect. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, how do we do the floor? So let's jump back to our floor. So this is where I'm going to put this etched section. I just had I'm just going to do it here. That should really hurt some people's aesthetics, having a circular room and a square pattern in the floor. That's gonna hurt some people. I think that's gonna guarantee that there'll be like people going, why did he do this? Make a circular room with a square pattern in the middle. Hilarious. But anyway, so I'm gonna put this square tiled pattern in the middle here. And if it's triggering your OCD that you want a circular pattern, you're more than welcome to join my Patreon, download the map, download the working file for the map, and remove it, and just put in a circular pattern. Okay, so let's just fill this in. Oops. Just like that. So then around the outside here. And then what I'll do is in these outer rooms, I'll use so instead of these full size, so this is one grid square, map grid square. Because I try to bake the map grid into the artwork of my maps. It's just something I've always done. So as I'm putting these down, I'm working on the next adventure module, which I hope I have it done soon. I need to get it done. The Trader's Way. So I've got pretty much all the characters rendered. I've got the Trader's Way road rendered. I've still got to do some of the monsters. Some of the monsters are actually individual characters, so I've got to do them up good, because depending upon how the players sort of progress through the module, the monsters could actually become allies, because the monsters actually ask the characters, or give the characters an ultimatum, because they're under the leadership of a monster called the Rat King. He's basically a mutant rat. There's an artifact in the forest that's making the rats slightly bigger and smarter. But the problem is, he's lost control of the artifact. He can't. Well, not really that he's lost control of the artifact. He can't access it anymore. The Rat King can't get at it anymore, and he needs to get at it in order to continue to use it, obviously. he needs access to the device. Or really, it's an elixir. It's a device that makes a magic potion. And if he and his ratty kin drink the magic potion, it makes them bigger and stronger. Bigger and more intelligent. Because the problem he's got at the moment is the sons of the Rat King they're losing their intelligence. They're not as smart as the Rat King is, and he's realized that the reason for this is because he doesn't have access to the elixir from this magic device, because the magic device is guarded by machines that basically burn ratties to a crisp. So he basically gives the characters an ultimatum, because he also thinks the characters have trespassed in his lands. And they kind of have. So hang on, this goes there. So I should move this piece down here. So anyway, yeah, the characters, they kind of have trespassed in the lands of the Rat King. And he's sort of like, he gives them an ultimatum. He's like, you help me out. You help me get access to this device, this magic potion, and I'll stop raiding. I'll control my, it will enable me to control my sons, and I'll stop raiding travelers on the Traders Way Road. And he gives this ultimatum to the characters. So the characters are sort of like, do we do this? Do we do not do this? And as to spice the deal, he offers to help equip the characters. Like, he's got equipment that the rats have stolen. So he's sort of like, we can provide you with gear, and we can feed you, and we'll provide you safe travel through our lands. But you've got to do, the trade-off is you've got to do this thing for us, because we can't do it. The machines burn us alive, and being burned alive kind of sucks, and we think it's not going to burn you alive. So that's sort of the ultimatum that the Rat King gives. So it's the characters could turn around and say, "Get stuffed. We're not doing that." But hopefully, cross fingers, the characters will turn around and be like, "No problem. We can help you out. We can fix your problem. We can take a hammer to your conundrum." So yeah, I've got to do something special for the Rat King and his entourage, because they could just, instead of just being monsters, they could actually become allies, and that will make them a lot more interesting than just straight up monsters. Okay, so I'm going to use these tiles that are broken into 3. Actually, I'll use some of these. Oops. I made them for doing big areas. There we go. Pardon me. So they can go down there, and that one there, and this one right there. So that's looking good. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting how people sort of react to the ratties. Will they help them out? Will they tell them to just get knotted? Hopefully, they'll help them. Here we go. Slowly getting there. And just to finish off, that one goes there, and this one goes right there. And that's that map completed. So this will be, yeah, this could be medical autopsy room. Who knows? Who knows what these rooms could be? You'll have to download the maps and use them yourselves. But thank you for watching. I hope you've had a good morning. I hope your week pans out to be really productive, just as I hope my week is productive. Thank you for watching. As always, you know, like, subscribe, do all that sort of thing. You know, it lets me know that you enjoy watching and seeing and using the material that I create. It shows me that I also am helping to educate you on how to use GIMP to create adventure maps, which I probably should show. So if you're going to, you know, you want to keep a working version of your map, so go File, Save As, give it a name. So this will be number 6. Save. Always save a working version of your adventure map, but don't use your working version of your adventure map as your actual adventure map. Save it out as a flattened image. So in GIMP, you go to Export As. Down the bottom here, you click this little button. It'll give you a list of all the different file formats you can save it as. My recommendation, save as a WebP. It's going to give you the best compression to image quality ratio around. Make certain the file name is correct, and you know, export. Now it'll give you a little a secondary window like this. Whoops, go back. It'll give you a secondary window like this, where it has a number of profiles. This is all about lossless. Basically means loss of image quality. This is basically what lossless is about. But don't have that clicked. You want to have a little bit of, it's sort of a trade-off. A little bit of, so you know, lose a little bit of image quality, gain a lot of file compression. I like, some people do it less. I generally leave it as is. 90. The files that WebP gives you are pretty good. I usually leave it at 90. You want some compression, but you also don't want to lose your image quality. So I'd leave it as is. That's pretty good. You could scale it down. You will see a little bit of, you know, too high of compression. You will see a bit of artifacting, but you know, that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off you go for with image compression. But yeah, thank you for watching. Tune in again next week, next Monday, and if you check my channel later this afternoon, hopefully you should see montages of last week's adventure maps, and maybe I'll do a live stream of building in Fantasy Grounds. Thanks for watching.